Welcome back to an exciting Game 2 between Arctic Storm and Roligan Esport, where Roligan just steamrolled Game 1 and probably are just now talking about the strategy for Game 2. Same for Arctic Storm, as they have a lot to learn from this Game 1.
Absolutely. They had a decent draft, they had a good game plan, and they were not able to execute because Roligan just ran away with the game, playing it far too quick for Arctic Storm to even keep up.
Yeah, absolutely. And Arctic Storm, I believe, they did make the kind of mistakes where you kind of don't want to give anything up. You were losing your mid lane matchup, and you kind of have to give up when the invade comes, and you know that you can't follow. Instead, they went for it. They died. That's what started the snowball for Roligan. And sometimes you just need to know when to give up on something and when to go for it. And I feel like that was what Arctic Storm really didn't know. They just went for everything.
Yeah, for sure. Taking the fights when they perhaps didn't need to, like when their Victor hasn't even been able to recall for his first Hex Corns that is just 2 mana items like early on. Not a fight that you want to take, still contested the red buff. Not sure if that was the best choice, but it was also a good plan from Roligan to abuse those weaknesses, and realizing these sort of timing windows is one of the hardest things to do in League of Legends, since there's so many things you have to take into considerations, items, abilities, how champions interact with each other, and there's 10 champions in the game, and realizing when you are stronger than the other team and when you're going to be forcing fights, and that's something that Roligan did really well.
Yeah, Roligan knowing exactly when to go for something, and they got it at every single time. And at some point, you know that you can just go for everything because they were just so far ahead. So now going into the second draft, we're going to have to look again at Arctic Storm because they did a good draft first time around. This time, they're going to have to do an amazing draft to be able to compete with Roligan, who, to be honest, looked completely unstoppable in Game 1.
Absolutely. Kieran has been able to blind pick Janna twice and make it work.
Yeah.
That is not something that I want to say, but Janna with blind pick seems to have been working out for him, and he's been playing it so well, so I'm not sure if Arctic Storm are going to take the Janna off the table or if they have a plan prepared to deal with it.
Yeah, Arctic Storm is going to have a hard time right now with the picks and bans because there is so much that they kind of need to ban. They're super worried about Alex's Cassiopeia in mid lane that has to go. At the same time, we know that Alec also played a fantastic Orianna day 1. So that is also something on the table. Galio is something they're worried about. And on the other hand, looking at Roligan Esport, they can kind of very comfortably just ban whatever they feel could give Arctic Storm a shot at getting back into this series again. They can go with the Camille, the Sejuani, and the Sack right now. And Elmo on the Sack, he hit a lot of elastic slingshots, but then the follow-up wasn't just there.
Absolutely was not there, and I was gonna say that I would like Arctic Storm to take the Xayah here and then go for the Rakan in the next phase to just get that really strong bottom lane. Instead, it's Roligan that goes for the Xayah, threatens the Rakan, and Caitlyn Janna is a lane that Crocs and Kieran has been playing before. Now they're gonna go up against it, and I would love to see a Rakan come in for Kieran.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he doesn't really have to pick it right now, but in this rotation, sure, like before the second ban phase, definitely, because looking at the Xayah and Rakan in the hands of Croxy and Keaton, who were already dominating the lane last game, they could definitely make a lot of things happen right now, and they are going for it. Of course, this is the second rotation of picks and bans. I'm a little bit confused, but of course, going to have to pick Rakan up right now. So that is the Xayah Rakan lane, and Alec right now with hovering Jarvan for Tronen. So yeah, sure. Caitlyn and Janna, strong pick, but going that blind into the Rakana and Xayah, I'm not too sure about this decision. Sure, if you're a great Janna, if you play like Keaton did, I'm a little bit worried about Imbi and Eero still down bottom lane. And versus this matchup, wow, this could go definitely bad really quick. And now something we haven't seen too much of, there's the Nidalee pick for Elmo in the jungle, and that is also like, this is something crazy from Arctic Storm. I feel like this is such a comfortable pick for them, but at the same time, looking at this team comp, looking just at what we're seeing right now, this could go so bad in so many ways.
I mean, just in a vacuum, these 3 champions from Arctic Storm have a lot of synergy. Caitlyn and Janna, great at sieging, and Caitlyn and Nidalee as a sieging combination is something that I've been seeing since like season 3 at least. These two champions, so long range, great zoning with the traps from both of them. You've got the attack speed and the heal from the Nidalee coming in on the Caitlyn, so being able to siege down these towers. This is a great trio in a vacuum, but going up against the big, hard engage from Roligan Esport, I think Arctic Storm have picked themselves into a corner. Sure, you can poke, but you cannot poke if Rakan and Jarvan are on top of you, and they have such a long engaged distance here from Roligan.
Exactly, like this is so scary going into game 2, knowing that you lost game 1. At the same time, I love it because Arctic Storm still, like you say, it's a good team comp on paper.
Yeah.
So sure, they're still sticking with their game plan. The question is, are they going to be able to execute it this time around? Now you can see the extra ban against Alec. Yet again, it's the Orianna. So Orianna and Cassiopeia banned. Shogat for Nijus banned. Carwax a little bit worried about that matchup, as we could see the Shogat's sustain is just too heavy for even a pokey champion like Nard to handle. The return ban is Ryze and Sion for Roligan Esport, as might be another Anivia with that super wall off both Anivia and Caitlyn and Nidalee. Traps everywhere, walls everywhere. Might be an interesting kind of team comp, but still so squishy.
I'm interested to see what Alec is going to look for here for his mid laner, because he has been one of the big profiles of the tournament so far. And now, if he does not pick up the Vladimir, he's going to reveal another champion in his champ pool. Since they won game 1 so handedly, I'm wondering if he is thinking about saving pocket picks and not revealing his best champion for the situation, and instead picking something, either the Vladimir that has played before or just a very standard champion in the mid lane. I'd love to see Alec actually realizing that this is going to be a long league and that saving pocket picks could be a smart idea. So don't go for that crazy pocket set or whatever. Stay with a safe pick.
Yeah, that might actually be, it's actually a very good point. That might be the case here, as we have seen Alec on the Vladimir, very underwhelming, to be honest, even though he had good fun.
That is not the safe standard pick, Alec.
That's not what we're talking about. That is not the safe pick, but we'll see what happens. At least I would say that no matter what happens as they keep going up in this tournament, I wouldn't be too worried about revealing the Katarina. I feel like every good mid laner at some point will show that they have a good Katarina or like some kind of assassin. I wouldn't be too worried about it still, but Mirza definitely up for the challenge with the Diana picks. We're looking at some crazy action in game 2. Again, for Carwax up top lane, it's Gnar versus the Ornn this time around. So no Shogat on the table. Ornn is instead the go-to for Nijus, and Nijus also has been kind of a player that we've seen a lot of hype about when talking about this tournament, but at the same time, looking at all of these games, I feel like he keeps kind of being forgotten in the spotlight of Alex and Croxy and Keaton. And like Tronen as well. But all of these have been making so many plays, and then we have Nijus, who just this consistent like juggernaut. So maybe something else on the Ornn. I'm excited right now.
There's so many things to talk about. I'm not sure where to start. Love the Ornn in this versus the team cup of Arctic Storm. Maybe one of the champions with the longest range engage. So there's so many engage tools. There's Jarvan, there's Rakan, and there's Ornn. So this team can definitely start a fight at any point. And versus a poking style of team, that's going to be really beneficial for you. Then there's also the Katarina as like the X factor. But I think looking at how strong Roligan has been so far, even if he falls behind on the Katarina, he's still going to be useful. But the mid lane counterpick of the Diana, it's a champion that I've heard talking about. It's been speculated about whether she could make a return with a change to the AP items.
Yeah.
And it's a very old counterpick to the Katarina. I remember season 4 or something, maybe I was Googling Katarina counters, and Diana popped up as the first one. She has the tools. She can shield away from the Q poke coming out of the Katarina from that spam. She can very easily interrupt the ulti with her E as well. And she does have good power spikes as well. So really looking forward to seeing this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. But something Diana does not have is escapes. And Tronen has been that kind of jungler that goes for the level 2 craziness. He goes for ganks at any point he can. He really is this mechanical play together with Alec as well. So I really want to see a lot of action in the middle, and I expect to have my fill this game. So don't let me down, as Game 2 has just started. Roligan Esport versus Arctic Storm. Game 2 with one game up in the lead for Roligan Esport. And let's see what happens.
This is an exciting one for sure. Also gotta say that I talked about the first 3 picks from Arctic Storm making a lot of sense when it comes to the sort of a poking, sieging kind of team comp. So much zone control from the traps from the Nidalee and the Caitlyn, the sustain as well. But the last 2 picks really messes up that team comp. This is not a team comp that makes sense, in my opinion. This is a team comp that does a lot of different things. I would have wanted to see just a solid frontline tank like a Scion or something, and then a mid laner that goes together with a zoning, kind of poking, sieging kind of feel, and Diana is just the opposite of that. So even though I like the first 2 picks from Arctic Storm, I don't think that the team comp makes a lot of sense at the moment.
Yeah, Arctic Storm went kind of away from the sense-making team comp and straight into the solo queue extravaganza, where you pick whatever you're comfortable with and just goes for it. Also, we just found out a little bit of a Nihus.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's the coach of Roligan that just tweeted at me that we should call him Nihus.
Yeah, so sorry about that. Nihus definitely will be the name for you, as Arctic Storm just now immediately arriving to the lane has to back off as Eru and Imbi were separated. Eru could not help his marksman to survive that situation, so he had to fall back. Still, of course, did not have to burn any summoner spells, but you were talking about it before, like Rakan and Saya. So much damage from the get-go.
Absolutely great all-ending potential early on as well. And when you're seeing a Caitlyn start Doran's shield, that's when you know she's not confident about this lane matchup at all. The longest range AD carry early on, the AD carry that should force the other person to go for the Doran shield, goes for it herself instead.
Alec being ganked, but here comes the counter gank. Ignite is down, and first blood to Alec. Looking for the second blood under the turret. Tronin goes in for it, but Alec with everything on cooldown did not quite dare to go for a dive. Still, first blood to Roligan.
Taking the 2v2 mid when you know the enemy has a combat summoner on their mid laner and you have a teleport might not have been the smartest choice. Elmo also missing both of the spears there early on in that engagement. And of course, Tronin being at the right place at the right time. So Roligan getting off to a good start. I said I liked what the team comp tries to do. Good start in the bottom lane. Good start in the mid lane jungle matchup as well. Roligan might be on their way to a 2-0 right now. Although, of course, that's too early to call.
It's very early to call it, but they're looking great. The Elmo right now going on the Rift Scuttler, quite worried, even throwing spears into bushes just to make sure there is no sneaky Jarvan around. Tron, on the other hand, has recalled to get his Challenger Smite already, as Elmo is still only on the Tracker's, not Tracker's Knife, Hunter's Machete, I mean. Tracker's Knife is no longer a thing.
It's out of the game, to the joy of many junglers and to the sadness of many laners, because that means you will have a lot less information on where the enemy jungler is.
Elmo top lane hits the spear, goes in for the flash by Nihus, gets away at first, turns back again with the shield, and Elmo now tanking up the entire minion wave. Tronin coming in, still has flash up, could use it for the flag and drag combo, but no, not going to opt for it. Too many minions, too risky, and backing off again. But Elmo going crazy with the Nidalee, not though to his avail, as he is slowly starting to fall behind.
Yeah, taking some punishment early on from Tronin, who's been in the mind of Elmo at all times, knowing where this Nidalee is, and he's even gonna deny some of the small jungle monsters right now. And I gotta say, towards the top lane fight right there, we have been seeing Ornn with some pretty substantial nerfs on 8.4, which this is played on. So Nihus, if Nihus, of course, sorry about that. If he would have been playing the old Ornn, I think that would have been a return kill coming in on towards Elmo. But with the nerfs, does not have enough, as much damage and his longer cooldowns as well. So did not have the tools to take down Elmo.
We've been talking about Nihus being kind of the backline hero, or the frontline hero, of course, but kind of, you know, the one sits in the back, he does his thing, but we talk so much about Alec, we kind of forget about him. I feel like this could be the game where we're going to see some more Nihus action instead. I mean, his coach just told us we've been pronouncing his name wrong.
Ooh,
we're
great.
missing out, but we're not going to miss out
play.
on this fight down bottom lane where the Howling Gale will save them for a few seconds more, but Embi finally goes down. Elmu's here again together with Carwax. It's a 3 versus 3, but they're all split up. Between the turrets here, though, it's up to Keaton to start off the fight. Will he be able to, though? Looking for the W, does not find it. Flash over the wall instead. Here comes the Veredistorm team as well, as Mercer has arrived, picking up Croxy. Keaton going down. This is too deep. And Arctic will have some kills from it. Alex, the sole survivor in the bush with the ward, does not find it. One more auto attack will do it as Carwax gets the kill.
Impressive response there from Arctic Storm, getting the TP on Carwax, and as well having Mercer stay around in the mid lane for slightly longer and then roaming bottom lane with level 6 versus level 5 of Alec. Also a great Janna play to start out the engage there, as he was able to interrupt the Rakan W with the Howling Gale coming out of the Janna. So all in all, a couple of good exchanges for Arctic Storm, who are now slightly ahead on the gold and have initiated a lane swap, which I think is a very interesting thing to see at the moment. And it's because Embi is behind on the items. Pickaxe versus BF Sword, when you're already losing the matchup, is never a position you want to be in. Carwax, though.
Tronen, just enough mana for one flag and red combo. He hits it, he finds it, and they get the kill. Well executed, 3 versus 1, picking up another kill for Roligan. Carwax was just too far up to handle that gank. But I'm gonna call this right now. This game is going to be like the madness game. This is the kind of game we're gonna see where everything will happen. We already saw like a small lane swap happen. Now they swapped back again. Here comes Alec for another tower dive, going in, forcing Embi. Embi dies in seconds. Here comes the other pickup. Eero dies with the ignite on him, as Alec now already on 3 kills. And tower dive 1 did not pan out for them. No problem at all. Roligan goes for tower dive 2, and this time it's a flawless 2 for 0.
Mid lane, though, this might be the punishment going down to Mercer.
Oh, Nihus being outplayed by Mercer, but Mercer only has 1 way to get out. Actually, 2 ways, as the flash was up. Gets away from the Cataclysm, gets away from the Ornn and the Jarvan, but now has no Summoner's spell left to save him next time around. Still teleport up, gonna stay around this lane. I see Diana versus Katarina might be a counter pick, but Katarina has not been in mid lane. Mercer now being chased by Keaton, being knocked up and charmed, and soon to be killed. Ignite has landed. Alec picking up his 4th kill of the game, and this is already a super fed Katarina.
Roligan are able to get the game that they want. This is exactly the type of playstyle that they excel at, both in terms of the individual player skill and the team comp. The Rakan just roaming around the map, forcing the plays to happen over and over, and Alec perma-roaming from the mid lane. Even though he's ahead on the kills, he's been falling behind on the farm, but he does not care because he's roaming, he's picking up the kills on the side lanes, and Roligan are really, they've found their play style and they're playing accordingly.
Yeah, Roligan making this happen right now, as Arctic Storm kind of went for all of these comfortable picks. But so far, I mean, the only comfortable lane for them right now is Carwax and Ilmo, as they are the ones with the kills. The bottom lane has been demolished, the mid lane has been demolished, and now, of course, Nihus and Croxy up top lane getting another turret.
Lane swaps on point for Roligan. Getting the bot lane tower, swap towards top, get the tower as well. It's going to be the siege on the mid lane after this. And one of the reasons that we're not seeing as much of Katarina and Diana in the competitive scene is because their lack of reliable ranged wave clear. They have to get up to the wave to clear it. So it's very easy for both these teams to siege down the mid lane tower.
Tronen and Alec. Alec going a little bit too far with the Mega Gnar form just available. Carwax picks him off with the shutdown and the extra gold from it. At the same time, Arctic going for the dragon. As I said, madness game. Objectives being taken simultaneously and forcing fights that you do not want to have, as Alec went a little bit too far on that last one.
And Arctic are not doing a bad job at all trying to stay in this game. I mentioned the sieging potential that they've got with the double traps, with a sustain from the Nidalee, with a poke from the Janna, Caitlyn combo, and they were up against a team that lacks wave clear in the mid lane. There is a Xayah which can clear the waves if she gets up close to them, but if Arctic are able to push this in, there's very little that Roligan can do but to watch their towers go down, unless they can force a big engage, of course, with someone like an Ornn, Jarvan and a Rakan. So I think this game, if Arctic steps up, it's going to be a lot down to Arctic wanting to siege and then Roligan trying to find the flanks and the engages.
Yeah, the flanks indeed versus the Janna will be the job of Nihus. One right now, again, like, I don't want to say this about Nihus, but this is the second time around that we see a game where there are action everywhere. And Nihus, kind of, I think, the kind of player who's forced to play these big tanks and can't really join the mayhem. Here we go again, it's Keaton and Croxy under the turret, getting the damage off with a short range. Not too worried still about being caught out of position, since there's really no way for Arctic to capture them unless like Carwix can find a huge teleporter coming from behind with the Mega Gnar form.
Mercer right now is focusing on towards the bottom lane, which I think is a good choice. In an extended 1v1 against Nihus, he will have kill pressure on towards the Ornn, I do believe. Mid lane though.
Yeah, speaking about Carwix, there he is. He goes in, but he almost goes out in a second. Still finds the stun though, looking for the opportunity to go with the ultimate. Only finds one target, but Mercer kills Croxy. There is Alex now going in. He captured Carwix. At the same time, Mercer almost getting the double kill, but instead the double kill goes to Alec. He finds it, and he gets out still. Now it's Mercer under the turret. Nihus here versus Elmu, getting the ace in the hole onto him, avoiding most of the damage with the shield, and he gets out. Now Rift Herald is up as well in a very strange position, but turning back now again on Elmu, and Elmu is so low on HP, cannot survive the combined power of Roligan Esport. He goes down, teleport comes in, still looking for more as Mercer tries to hit over the wall, will not find it. Carwix gonna chase this down. There goes the rest of the team, but Carwix now been captured, down on half HP, but Mercer is there, picking it up. Alec goes down, shut down on Alec. Nihus and Tronan has to fall back, and that was a very long and crazy fight with kills on both sides, as Rift Herald for some reason has been left alone to go ham in the mid lane.
Arctic Storm getting too excited to chase down the kills. Rift Herald picked up mid lane then. I mean, the fights are not bad for Arcstorm. Oh, Imbi though.
Oh, you're gonna have to hold that thought, because Imbi has been caught out of position. A quick pause just before he almost dies. I think he might actually survive this. Oh no, actually he won't, because Croxy has flash up. So that is another kill for Roligan as soon as the game has been unpaused. I'm sorry, man, because you don't get much time to talk at all with all of this happening at once.
I mean, I'm fine because I get to listen to you, your beautiful voice.
Me screaming a lot in your ears.
Screaming in my ears, that's the part I can deal with. Like, it's okay.
Thank you.
I'll manage.
He'll manage.
That's how I'd put that.
He's been in this with me for a long time. It's 5 years.
Oof.
No, is it? Is it 5 years?
I think it's at least 5 years.
I think it might be more even.
I think it's like 5.5 or something.
First year you and I cast together, I think it was 2012.
We are back into the game though, and I think it's a fitting picture to see Croxy chasing down Imbi, because the big story of the game so far is the AD carry difference. Essence Reaver Berserker Greaves versus Pickaxe Boots of Speed. And this is in a matchup where you really want the Caitlyn to be able to pressure early, but instead it's the opposite way. I think across the rest of the board, it's very even in between the players. It's in the AD carry position where the big difference is. Look at that, almost 2,000 gold lead for Croxy.
Yeah, 2,000 gold lead for Croxy and 2,000 gold lead for Alec. But apart from that, yeah, top lane jungle, quite even. Support, quite even. So, yeah, Arctic still can make a lot of things happen, but they have such a weird team composition. Like, they just keeps going for all of these skirmishes all around. Our observer is doing his best to keep up as another kill goes down on Elmu. Croxy picks that one up. Carwax trying to tank it, almost in Mega Gnar for Monsoon even being deployed to save him from the red buff damage. And meanwhile, bottom lane, that is a
kill.
very, very dead Alec.
Mersa showing why he picked the Diana into the Katarina, and this is the first time in a while we've seen the Katarina. So I'm quite impressed by that. And we mentioned the sieging ability from this team and the lack of wave clear from Roligan. So this might be mid tower going down to the siege potential of the Caitlyn. She might not have the most scary items, but she still has that long range.
Arctic Storm still showing up. They get the mid lane turret. They recall on time, and this might be the first time in 7 minutes or more where this game has calmed down for a second just.
And that is pretty nice because we get to talk about the bigger picture. And right now it looks like Mersa's going to go for the split pushing strategy on this Diana with a Lich Bane coming in, which means he will make short work of any towers when it's off in a 1v1 situation. And I quite like this for Mersa because we look at the team of Roligan. Who's going to be able to 1v1 a Diana that is pretty big? They're sending Alec right now, and sure, I think he's the best choice to go 1v1 with this Diana, but we saw him die 1v1 not that long ago, and I'd say in an extended 1v1 the advantage is definitely on the side of Mersa, especially that he's 2 levels up onto Alec. So I think the strategy for Arctic Storm has changed from being more of a sieging type of game to more of a split pushing kind of game.
Oh, split pushing, but with the teleport assistance almost picking up the solo kill and Tronin coming in. Mersa might be split pushing, but the rest of the team did not get the memo because they're not putting down pressure anywhere on the map as Mersa was caught out mercilessly by 3 members of Roligan at the same time. And now Roligan going for the bottom lane turret. Sure, they might not have the sieging potential, but they have the brute power potential. Going for the turret, down in seconds. See Elmu trying to get some spears off into the team of Roligan, but not having too much damage, falling behind quite a bit in this game.
Arctic Storm are reacting so slowly to the plays of Roligan. You see Roligan sending 3 people bot lane to make an engage. What you'd expect for Arctic Storm is to immediately react to that on the other side of the map. What instead happened is that they were just like sitting around for 30 seconds and then starting to slowly walk bottom lane to kind of counter that, and they still lost the tower. So I think Arctic Storm, they have a good split pushing comp with the Diana. If the Diana's off on the side lane, I think they have a pretty strong 4-people group to sit and play safe on the other side of the map. But as we mentioned earlier on when it came to Riddle playing with Rudolph's Fiora, it's this team comp that requires some skill. And speaking of skill, that's a big Katarina.
That is a huge Katarina, and even though Imba had to back off, had the range advantage, the flash and the smash was still there. And another smash going down by Alec, being saved by the Monsoon from Iru, but still getting half of the HP onto the team of Arctic Storm. And Arctic Storm are doing great individually. A lot of these different plays happens basically because Roligan just keeps out-rotating them on the map. Mersa even got the solo kill on Alec, even though Alec has all of these extra all of these extra kills. But now Mersa, as soon as that happened, there comes the rest of the team, and there is nothing he can do about it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as long as he's up in a 1-versus-1 situation, he's going to be kind of fine. We did see him have some trouble going 1v1 with Nihos earlier there. And that is a big reason to that is because Imbi is doing not so hot on this Caitlyn. It means that the tanks on Roligan can pretty much only itemize for magic resist, as there is also a Nidalee on the team of Arctic Storm. And when you've got a bunch of magic resist and a big tank, it's going to be hard for Mersa. And speaking of hard for
Mersa, that is the revenge kill. Alec wanting to show that he does not die 1-versus-1 more than 1 time for each game. Or at least that's what I think. I'm probably going to have to eat those words up, as he will die 1-versus-1 in just a few minutes. But still, that happened, and he killed Mersa in seconds. Finding now Elmu. Elmu dodging to the right side and gets away. Well played by Elmu still to get out of that situation, but just getting out is not going to get them the win, as Tronin cheeky tanking up some damage, being caught out by the trap of Imba, still tanky enough to get out.
Still got out with the Warmogs, which is a great item against these sort of poking champions. You can take some damage, back off for a while, and then you'll be back to full HP in no time. And tier 2 mid gonna go down to Roligan. There is not too much Arctic Storm can do when they are on the back foot.
Teleport coming in. Here is Knee, who starts off the fight with the ultimate already. Croxy goes down in this as Mersa is merciless with the DPS. Tronen too low for this, but Alec on the killing spree, picking up the kills. Double kill now, going for the triple even, being knocked up in the air by the Howling Gale, not going to capture it as Tronen just barely gets up, and no! It's found by Mersa, and now it's Elmo versus Nihus. Elmo has nowhere to run. Where will he go from this? In the Baron pit. Now it's Nihus instead in a bad spot, but the great play will save Keaton as he just arrived there. Nihus now with a shield, turning back in again onto Mersa. Mersa only needs it one ability to go for this finish. Ilmu very low mana, but Mersa is still there, picking up all by himself. Alec yuking back, Alec yuking forth, but he is too low to turn back on Mersa with this. Can he do this? Mersa is so low, he only has with one ability. Can he do it? Alec still running away from this, and Mersa is a little bit scared. Alec knows there's a ward in here, turning back again, he goes for it, and the shutdown on Mersa. Alec now with the kill on Elmu as well, almost there. Red buff doing the job, being burning right now. And oh my god, Croxy too! Iro trying to save his teammate. Carbox arriving way too late. And now it's Croxy instead running away, running towards top lane, where Alec is now farming to get back the HP. Croxy running away, almost dead. One more auto attack, and it does it. Alec with no ultimate. Can he do this versus Carbox? Walking into the bush. Here comes the teleport as well, but Mega North form will knock him into the wall. That is the shutdown. That is the runaway, and no more teleport available. That is finally the end of that fight, and oh my god, these teams showing up.
These are so intense fights, and they're going on for like 30 seconds to 1 minute in a single team fight. Wow, I mean, Alec is really carrying his team at the moment. Mersa on this Diana is actually showing up in the team fight situations. He can deal with a backline of Roligan pretty much on his own with this Lich Bane on the Diana. He's putting down so much DPS. But like the only person that's beating him in the DPS is, of course, Alec, who has been just popping off on this Katarina. In the end, goes down to Carbox, though, who's been showing up more in this game than I've seen previously. And I was asking a bit about the Gnar builds, kind of intrigued what's gonna go for. Is it gonna be this big tanky style of Gnar? No, it's actually the Frozen Mallet into a dagger. So it's gonna be some sort of an attack speed item coming up after these two kind of like hybrid damage and tanky items. So this is gonna be more of a DPS build from the Gnar, which I think is interesting because they have no frontline on their team. Squishy jungler, squishy support, and now the top lane Gnar is building damage. It's brave. I'm not sure I like it.
I'm not sure if I like it either at the same time. I gotta say, I enjoy watching this happen, this craziness. And also, to be fair, like, we haven't seen many team fights. We've seen a lot of fights, but like every single fight gets split up in seconds, and then it's just fighting all over the map for the next 2-3 minutes as a Baron call happens.
This might be the steal for Elmu, though. You have to be really careful about this. I think Roligan are just starting this up to force the team fight, and Alec is coming on for the flank. Here we go with the engage.
Nihu's starting the engage, misses everything, but there is the follow-up, and Alec together with Keaton picking up Carbox. And no frontline, no tanky items. That's gonna spell a disaster for you if you are the frontline as a Gnar without your Mega Gnar form available when the fighting starts. And now Roligan turning back again on the Baron. Elmu still healthy. Mersa still healthy together with Imbi. Can they stop this from happening? Alec doing his best to zone the rest of Arctic Storm out. Elmo looking for the steal, but at the same time, here comes the initiative. Ira about to go down. The huge DPS from Roligan is completely demolishing the front line of Arctic and the back line as Elmo picks up a quadra kill in that fight. That was crazy. Triple kill as someone stole the quadra. No problem at all if you're the mid laner with 16 kills after 23 minutes. Baron going down. You don't even need to have your jungler right now. Or will you? Is this a mistake? Carbox is moving towards it. There comes another ultimate from Nihus. Not going to be able to hit anything but air, but Carbox cannot steal the Baron, and Roligan gets away with it.
I mentioned being worried about Alex showing his secret weapon, Katarina, and that is definitely what he's done this game. This weapon is not secret anymore. Everyone can see how well he is showing up on this carrying champion. 16 kills in 24 minutes, 10 stacks on the Dark Seal, and has been like that for a while. Come on, man, just get him, Majais, please.
This is crazy. This is crazy. I don't even know what to say about Alec and his Katarina. Of course, Arctic went with the squishy team. They tried to kind of like fight out Alex 1 versus 1 with Mirza, but that worked out for minutes. That was minutes before that turned into a disaster. Alex simply ignored Mirza and went to every other lane in the game, picking up the solo kills. That wasn't even a solo kill, that was 1 versus 2 as the ace in the hole just hits him as he finishes the job and gets car walks. That was another kill onto Mirza, as Mirza, sure on Diana, has definitely been showing up, but being caught out of position over and over again. This is the entirety now of Roligan Esport with their entire team pushing in mid lane. With the Baron buff, no banner of command is needed when you have Alec and Croxy on the killing spree. Tower dive is there. You can see Elmu not even getting close to this action. Turret going down, 25 minutes. This is not a 23-minute game finish, sure, but this is not gonna stick out very much longer. Baron minions moving in on these turrets. Teleport coming in from top lane, even as Nihus wants in on this action as well. Nexus turret now on half HP, 1 Howling Gale. Let's go to the night a little bit. An extra shield as well. Nolan stalling for seconds. Karwax not having Mega Narf form, not able to engage on this. Still going with the attack speed. Has even a seal together with this build.
Such a great play from Elmu. He went for the minion wave while Roligan was on towards the Nexus. I think they could have finished if the minion wave wouldn't have killed there.
Whoa, though, that was not the engage you wanted. Carbox has to flash out of that. Alec picking up him. That is the dominating mid lane, and with the double kill now, and Imbi running away. Where can he go? Nowhere, turning back again. Croxy on the rampage. Alex trying to steal that kill. Didn't quite get it, but it doesn't even matter. Here comes the super minion, and I think this is the end. Arctic Storm doing their best, still fighting. There is Nihus wanting to show that he is still in the game, but it's all finished. Arctic Storm did their best, they fought it out, but in the end it's Roligan Esport from Denmark with a 2-0.
Convincing performances back-to-back from Roligan, carried by Alec. This is someone to keep your eyes out on. This mid laner, he's not, I promise you this, he's just not going to be playing in the Nordic Championship. You're going to see this guy in bigger tournaments to come.
Oh, you're just calling it as it is.
I'm calling it. From seeing what he's done here, he's been able to play every style. He's played the Casio, trying to get big lane advantages. He's been playing the Orianna, just staying safe and then getting huge in team fights. And now he's playing the roaming game on the Katarina, being able to pilot all of these styles. However, I am interested to see what he can do up against the best Swedish teams, though. That's something I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, we're absolutely looking forward to see some more of these teams. But I gotta have to commend Arctic Storm. We all know what it feels like to be the underdogs coming into a big tournament like this. In game 1, they played the kind of safe team comp smart style, and there was really a smart style. Like, there's a lot of potential going on there with their picks and bans. In game 2, they realized this is not gonna work. What do? They pick this crazy team comps that really highlights each individual. Carwalks actually in a game that was finished 25 minutes, still manages somehow to finish with good positive stats. Mirza stayed positive in most of the game as well, even getting that 1 versus 1 on Alec, the huge carry at one point. The only lane that actually struggled a lot through both of these games was the bottom lane with MB and Eru, who kind of needs to step up. Even with the super safe lane of Caitlyn and Janna, they still faltered. And they really need to practice some more up for the coming games. But really, I enjoyed watching Arctic Storm play. I'm going to enjoy watching them some more in this tournament.
Yeah, definitely. They did not just roll over and die and show that we're just going to sit under our Nexus towers and try to defend and maybe live for 5 minutes longer. No, they took the gauntlet that had been thrown out by Roligan. They tried to go toe-to-toe for that. Mercer went 1v1 with Alec and just killed him in just a straight-up duel.
I love that part.
With like the Lichbane Diana that you're bringing out here in 8.4. That's not something I was expecting that I'd say here. So definitely Arctic Storm showing some good attitude, but when it comes to the game knowledge, the team coordination, they got to work if they want to be able to beat the top teams like Roligan.
Yeah, Roligan really showing they deserve their spot up there in the top with the Swedish teams, of course. And that was the last game of today.
It was a quick day today. Quick 2-0 to Factor Evolution and quick 2-0 from Roligan.
Yeah, absolutely. So these teams already cementing their positions, as you said, and as well, sadly, that also cements the team's position in the bottom. But this is what happens in the first 2 days. We still have so much more to come. So we hope you're going to rejoin us on our next broadcast on Tuesday. I want to thank you for watching, and we're going to see you guys next time.